So as the season is now over, it is time to compile my personal championship team of the season. I want to get your guys' squads in the comments down below. Anyone from your club make it in there, let me know. I've gone for a bench and starting 11. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. But without any further ado, let's go over the bench first of all. Starting out with my keeper on the bench, I have gone for Bournemouth's Mark Travers. I was split between 4 goalkeepers in the championship in terms of these 2 spots for my 2 goalkeepers of the season, who I think have been outstanding throughout the year. Wes Foderingham was also taken into consideration, as well as Preston North End's Daniel Everson. But Mark Travers, more clean sheets than any other championship goalkeeper with 20, really stepped up to the billing after the departure of Begovic from last season, who did really well at Bournemouth, and Travers has done an excellent job in there this season. Isaiah Jones from Middlesbrough also makes it onto my bench. A fantastic breakthrough year for him, and I think that he's only gone from strength to strength under Chris Wilder, and I expect he'll get even better next season. After the second half of the season I had to throw Huddersfield's Harry Toffolo in there. 6 goals, 7 assists this season. I was quite 50-50 on my left back choice for my team of the season, and Toffolo could have easily got the nod for that position. I've also thrown Millwall's Jed Wallace onto my bench. 94 key passes this season in the championship. Only 2 players rank above him in that statistic, and both of those players have made it into my starting 11. 6 goals, 12 assists for Millwall this season. The points per game differential between Wallace being in that Millwall squad compared to him not being in that is absolutely night and day. For this midfield position on my bench, I was split between Wallace and James Garner at Nottingham Forest, but overall package and influence for team, I just think that Wallace is absolutely massive for Millwall. Morgan Gibbs-White also makes it onto my bench. For this sort of attacking position on the bench, I was between Gibbs-White and Chris Willock at QPR, who's also been absolutely excellent, but the influence Gibbs-White has had on the Sheffield United side, particularly in the second half of the season when they've had this abundance of injuries at the forward end of the pitch, the amount of match-winning performances he's come up with has been absolutely incredible. 11 goals, 9 assists. I think he's quite hard done by, actually, that he's not made it into my starting 11 because he's been so good. Swansea City's Joel Perreault also makes it onto my bench. 22 goals and 6 assists in his debut season in the Championship is absolutely fantastic, considering he sort of adapted the role that he's played throughout the season as well. Started out as the number 9 and has sort of transitioned into a number 10 after that. Yeah, he's been fantastic. And then the last spot on the bench goes to Bristol City's Andy Weimann. For this position, I was between Weimann and Ben Brereton Diaz, but the numbers just edge towards Weimann, and there can be no complaints about this. Once again, Weimann really unlucky not to get into the starting 11. 22 goals, 10 assists. He's played pretty much every position under the sun for Bristol City this season, and where on earth would they be without him this year? But that right there caps off my bench. Once again, the barrier to getting into this team is really quite high because the calibre of players that I've had to leave, even off my bench, is ridiculous for this season in the Championship. But without any further ado, let's hop into my starting 11. With my starting goalkeeper, I have gone for Lee Nicholls. I've just given him the edge over Travers. Travers does have 2 more clean sheets to his name, but Nicholls has faced more shots throughout the season, has a better save percentage, and if we consider how much of a shambles that Huddersfield backline was last season, I think Nicholls has played an instrumental role in turning that around this season. In at right back, of course, I've gone for Nottingham Forest's Jed Spence. He's really been a defining player of the Cooper era so far at Nottingham Forest. His importance to this Forest side really can't be underestimated. There'll be another Forest player coming up later on in the video, but in terms of importance to the side, what he offers both defensively and offensively to this Forest side in off that right hand side is absolutely almost irreplaceable. They're a different team without him. As the second Forest entry into my starting 11, I'm then going to go for Scott McKenna, who for me personally, I'd pretty much go as far to say has been the best defender in the Championship this season for me. I really think he's been that good. I know that Joe Worrell made it into the official Championship team of the season, and don't get me wrong, I think that he's been absolutely fantastic as well, but whenever I've watched Forest, for the vast majority of the time, McKenna's been the most impressive one to me. And partnering him at the back, I've gone for the Scottish double-up with Luton Town's Cal Naismith. Luton definitely deserve a little bit of representation in this Championship team of the season, and Naismith has been absolutely unbelievable. I think that when he first arrived at Luton, there was, a question mark in terms of what was his best position. He was always seen as a little bit of a utility player who could play absolutely all over, but he's made that centre-half place his own in this Luton setup. 2 goals, 7 assists to go along with that, as well as 6 man of the match performances. There's no doubt in my mind that he's getting in this team for me. Into my left back, I have gone for Bournemouth's Jordan Zemura. They did deserve some representation in this team, particularly in the back line, as they have had the best defensive record throughout this season. And considering this has been his first full season at this level, he has been immensely impressive. You know, from day one really, him and Anthony forming that partnership down that left-hand side, even throughout till the end of the season, you know, that defining game that Bournemouth had against Nottingham Forest, Zemura put in an absolute masterclass of a performance. There was a big block at one point, getting up and down the pitch, energy and things like that. He's got 3 goals and 1 assist, but that doesn't really do him justice of just how influential he actually has been for this Bournemouth side at times. For me personally, the best left-back in the league this season. Now for my team, I've gone for a 4-4-2 formation. In off the right-hand side, I have gone for Harry Wilson. I think that he's a shoo-in for everyone's team of the season, really. 10 goals, 19 assists. He's formed a fantastically prolific partnership with Mitrovic throughout this season. I think that 10 of Mitrovic's goals have been assisted this season by Harry Wilson. It's been one of, if not the best partnerships we've seen in the league this season. To go along with that as well, 102 key passes, more chances created than any other Championship player this season. As my first holding midfielder, I've gone for Huddersfield's Lewis O'Brien. I couldn't not include him in my team. I was between 2 for this position, to be fair. I was between Lewis O'Brien and Ryan Yates from Nottingham Forest, who made it into the official Championship team of the season, and this is certainly no knock on Yates. They're quite different players really. Yates has had a little bit more of a goal threat about him this season, but in terms of the overall package, Lewis O'Brien cannot be underestimated for how important he's actually been in this meteoric rise for Huddersfield this season. I'd argue one of the most complete players in the league in terms of his per 90 stats. 2 dribbles per 90, 1 key pass, 1 shot, 2.2 tackles, 1 interception. The engine on him is absolutely astounding. He's everywhere, all over the pitch, and for me personally, I couldn't leave him out. And to partner alongside in midfield, I've gone for Reading's John Swift. Let's be real, John Swift has been absolutely outrageous, particularly in the first half of this season. 11 goals, 13 assists is absolutely nothing to be sniffed at, and along with Harry Wilson, has created the most chances in the Championship this season with 102 key passes. In terms of that second central position, I was between Swift and Billing, but I think over the course of the entire season, Swift for me just gets the edge. I mean, let's be real. He's been playing in an awful Reading side for the majority of this season, and he's absolutely carried them at times with his moments of brilliance. And then off the left, I have gone for Nottingham Forest Brennan Johnson. He had to be in my team realistically. 16 goals and 10 assists for the winger this season. He's played in a variety of positions, to be fair. He's played down the middle, he's played on the left, he's played on the right. To fit him into my team, I've got him playing off the left, and to be fair, coming into this season, I think quite a bit was expected of Brennan Johnson, particularly after the loan spell he'd had out in League One last season, but even and the expectations that I had on him, he's completely surpassed them this season. He's been that integral figure to Forest in the final third, and 26 goal contributions in his first full season at this level is absolutely impeccable for a 20-year-old. And then you know where this is going. As my first striker in my 4-4-2, I have of course gone for Bournemouth's Dom Solanke. In any usual Championship season, 29 goals would be more than enough to be walking away with the Golden Boot. On top of that as well, also popped up with 7 assists, and he has been the cherry on top of this Scott Parker side this season. Countless match-winning performances. And Solanke has really been able to take his game to another level this season. You know, last season he was good and he had his moments, but there was still that air of inconsistency around Solanke. I think he's completely rubbished that this season by pretty much doubling his goal tally this time around. And then to top off the team, of course I'm going for the goal machine Fulham's Alexander Mitrovic. 43 goals and 7 assists in 44 Championship appearances. He's broken all sorts of records and has single-handedly outscored several Championship teams this season, which is absolutely outrageous. No question in my mind about it. He has been hands down the best player in the league this season, and I, for one, Can't wait to see him rip it up in the Premier League next season, because he is going to do it this time. But guys, there we have it. There is my personal championship team of the season. Like I said, really harsh leaving some players out that I had to in this team, but the barrier for entry was just so high. I want to get your personal teams though in the comments down below. Be interested to see how much they go ahead and differ from the players that I've picked out. Apart from that though guys, that will wrap it up for today's video. So if you did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like and do stick around and subscribe for some regular championship content. Apart from that guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.